a big goose stretch. Sleeping with the baby. Well, you're not really a baby anymore. Yeah, Lucy's she's getting to be an old lady. She's getting to be an old lady, aren't you, boo-boo? Oh, just a good scratch. Just a good scratch, though. Oh, just a good scratch. Oh, just a good scratch. I love when you find the spot, and then she's just like, oh, she like leans into it. You get that good scratch. Ah, she's like, that's the spot, Dad. That's the spot. I know. Let me talk to, I know. Let me talk to my other child, darling. I want to hear how the day went. Yeah, so, hey, knock it off. So, heard you had a big day. First day at work. How was it? You know, like spinning about it a little bit. Dude, I can very much relate. I remember, I told you I told you my first job was at Pizza Hut. Remember that? Yeah. So my first ever, job when I was 16 was I got a job as a waiter at Pizza Hut, which I don't think that's a thing anymore. But back in my day, I was able to get a job as a server, and it was like a little sit-down restaurant. You can go out and have like pizza and beer, And I remember I wasn't supposed to serve beer to the patrons, to the customers. It was very frowned upon. But one time I remember some customers ordered a pitcher of beer, and my manager was busy doing something else, and I was just like, this is stupid. And I just poured a pitcher of beer and served it, and nobody cared. But I wasn't supposed to. Shh. Don't worry, I think that particular location no longer exists, actually. Yeah, I think the last time we were in we were in Dayton, and we drove by, it was a bank. Yeah, so that Pizza Hut's gone. Anyway, job stress. Your mind is racing, right? And you're going through things in your day. I remember I had the exact same thing. I was like, so I'm like 16 years old, and I'm trying to go to sleep. And I remember, my head was spinning about things I had gotten right that day, things I had gotten wrong that day, things that, I don't know, my head was racing. My head was racing, just thinking about all I don't know, just the stress of not letting people down. And that's the thing for me, I have probably always taken jobs too seriously, in a way. I don't want to suggest that you should be like, whatever, everything's like, whatever, man. I'm not saying that. I don't want you to fall into that particular pitfall or, trap where it's like, nothing matters, man. You get all nihilistic and, but I definitely remember, I couldn't get to sleep, and I remember I even asked my dad about that. And I was like, Dad, I can't sleep, and I'm thinking about my work, and he's just like, yeah, well, that happens, if I'm working on a project, and he was in the Air Force at the time, and he's like, if I'm working on a big proposal or something, he was in the materials lab. He wasn't a pilot. Your grandpa. He worked in the materials lab, and was into material science, developing, because it turns out material science, I know very, very little about it, let's be very clear. But if you can't something that's stronger and lighter, then you can't progress with manufacturing. So much of manufacturing, especially the military, is they're very reliant on developing new materials. This is where, you know, carbon fiber comes from. This is where, I mean, I even think, you know, the use of aluminum in World War II was pretty evolutionary. This lightweight, you know, metal that was malleable that they could make fuselages out of and stuff. But anyway, my dad worked in the materials lab, and I just remember him telling me, like, it's something you deal with when you get older and you start taking on responsibilities. And if there's something that, like, he had to get done, he wasn't able to relax until he had gotten that done. And I had never understood that until then, where it's just like, you just have to put your nose to the stone, get the job done, and, you know, and tomorrow's another day. But, alright, you want to do a little exercise with me? Okay, let's do a little exercise together, okay? Alright. Because your day went how it went, right? And I'm sure there were positive parts of your experience today, and there were negative parts of your job experience today. And remember, you're learning, and first of all, I'm very proud of you, okay? I'm very proud of you. You're taking on a lot of responsibility, and you're having to show up and contribute and be a part of helping the company, you know, helping your customers. And I think there's tremendous value in that, especially at your age, you know. I think there's a trend for folks to wait later to getting their first jobs. And I understand why. It's like, you know, enjoy your childhood while you can, kind of a thing. On the other hand, there's just so much learning and value that we get when we take on difficult things like you did. Okay? So, go ahead and look at me real quick here, alright? Let's take a nice calming breath together, okay? In the nose, out the mouth. Good. And let's take another nice calming breath. And when we do this time, hey Lucy, stop looking at your papa, sweetie. And this time, here we go. And this time when we take a deep breath together, we're going to let out a sigh. It's called like a cyclical sigh. Okay, so we're going to breathe in and we're going to go, and just kind of let it out, okay? Alright, take a deep breath with me. Let it out. Good. Good. And we'll take a double breath this time. That's where we're going to breathe in. And then at the very end, we're going to breathe in a little more. And then exhale. Okay? So join me here. Let's breathe in. Nice. And let's do that one more time, okay? Breathe in, then like a second breath, and then exhale. Yeah, it feels better, doesn't it? It's amazing how comforting deep breathing can be. And I don't want you to focus on your work, okay? I want us to focus on right now. And we can kind of go back over your day a little bit. But it's very important that we do learn to kind of compartmentalize our experiences. Okay? Like, when you're on at work, that's a very specific type of you're on. You're really focusing, you're really paying attention, you're trying to juggle and multitask and do those things, and I'm sure in some areas you were very successful. And in other areas, maybe needs a little more work. And that's totally okay. But that was earlier today. Okay? That was earlier. So right now, I want you to give yourself permission to relax and let that go. Give yourself permission that right now, your job right now is to sleep and get a good night's rest. Okay? And whatever you did this morning, whatever you did during the day, you did. Whatever you didn't do, you didn't do. And it's okay. You did exactly what you did. And parts of that were great, and other parts were probably not as great. And it's okay. You're going to be okay. And I'm proud of you. And I think you're doing a great job. Okay? I'm proud of you. And I think you're doing a great job. You're doing great. It's going to be okay. In my experience of hiring people, and I've hired several people in my life, and I will tell you, one of the most difficult things to find in an employee is accountability and reliability. I remember I found this to be quite shocking, actually, at just how difficult it was and is, it still is, how difficult it is to find somebody who will be reliable. Just somebody who will show up on time. Somebody who, when they do what they say they will do by when they say they will do it. And it sounds simple, because it is. And yet it's a quality that I have found to be very hard to reliably come by. Do you know what I mean? It's been shockingly difficult to find people out there who are just incredibly reliable. You don't need to remind them. They know what their job is. They show up when it's time to do their job. And they get their job done. And it's like, that sounds simple. And it is. And yet, it's incredibly valuable. And I guarantee you, your boss knows that today was your first day. I guarantee you that they know that. And certainly if I was your boss, I mean, I would just simply worry about repeating mistakes. Does that make sense? It's not that you're not going to make mistakes or, like, drop the ball here or there, but can you learn? Yes. Are you smart? Yes. Are you funny? Yes. That may not have come out today, but did you? I'm telling you, if you can find levity in life, if you can be funny, if you can lighten the mood of the people around you, that is an incredibly valuable skill. Humor goes a long ways in life in general, in anything you're doing. Because the reality is, whether you want to be a movie actor on a set, if you're a pain in the ass, nobody wants to work with you. If you're an employee at McDonald's or Chipotle and you're funny, people will want to work with you. People will find you. It's just more pleasant to be around. So, focusing on reliability, showing up, not making the same mistake again and again and again. If you make a boo-boo, everybody makes boo-boos, okay? You're gonna be forgiven, especially because you're so young. You're gonna be forgiven. Just don't keep making the same boo-boo over and over again. Yeah, does that make sense? Good. Let's take another deep breath. Look at me. Let's take another nice deep breath together. You did a good job. You showed up on time. You worked your shift. Okay? And tomorrow's another day. And know that I'm proud of you. Your mother's proud of you. My suspicion, my intuition is that your boss is proud of you too. And the reason I think I'm so confident in that is your boss isn't an idiot, okay? They've been around the block, and they know that they're hiring for what's regarded as an entry-level position, okay? And whenever you're hiring for an entry-level position, you're going to get a lot of applicants, and you're going to get a wide range of qualifications and skills and abilities. And when you're first starting out in the workforce, nobody expects you to be a seasoned veteran, okay? Nobody does. And if they do, they're just being silly. But nobody expects you to be like a seasoned pro at your job on day one, okay? Nobody. And I'm guessing as well that you are not the first person that your boss has hired. Am I correct in saying that? Yes, right? Your boss has hired many people before you, yes? Yes, good. And is your boss do you feel kind of hard on you? A little bit? Well, let me ask you a question. Do you feel like your boss has integrity? Do you feel like they work hard? Do you feel like they showed up, and are they leading by example? Kinda, not sure yet. That's fair. Yeah, you haven't known them that long yet. Did you feel like they were a little strict? Maybe a little bit? Well, that's fair, but you also have to realize there's two types of discipline. There's discipline where it's just like somebody's just being mean, you know, they're just putting you down, and they're just being mean for the sake of kind of like, they're just like, and there's nothing constructive in it. They're just like yelling at you or just being mean, right? And I've experienced that, trust me. And then there's, your boss is firm, but constructive. And I remember I had this, the clearest example I had of this was actually in sports, back when I was playing hockey. And this is back when I was like early, even before I played JV. This is like, I was a peewee. And we had these two coaches, call them Coach A and Coach B. So Coach A is the main coach. And Coach A, he was just kind of mean. like, when he would like yell at the team, or you just felt kind of like you just felt like he was being mean. And our other coach, Coach B, his name was Fuzzy. Fuzzy, nickname of course. Now he would yell at us. In fact, he yelled. He would scream. He yelled way more than Coach A ever did. But we all liked him more because all of us on the team had the sense that he was really rooting for us and he was being hard on us because he wanted us to be better. You know what I mean? And like when he would yell, it was always like, come on, let's go. Keep your head in the game. What were you thinking back there? Let's go. Get it together, you know. Toughen up. Come on, you can do it. You got this. And it was always like it was yelling, but it was like toward a purpose, toward a goal. And we always felt like he had our back. And that's very, very, very important as a boss, that, you know, you're leading by example. And I hope I haven't had a chance to meet your boss. I would love to someday, by the way, if you would like. Totally up to you if you want to keep that part of your life private, separate from your mom and me. I totally understand. But hopefully your boss is somebody who is, you know, they're trying to build the best out of their team that they got. They're trying to help their team be a better team and work together so that everybody wins, right? That's your boss's job, is to manage a bunch of different people so that the customers are happy and the place stays profitable. It needs to make money, otherwise nobody has a job, right? So hopefully your boss is more like that type 2 boss, where they may be firm, but you really know that ultimately deep down, like, they're on your side. Does it hopefully it feels that way? Yeah, kinda. Okay. Well, like I said, I'm proud of you. I know you're taking on a lot right now. I know it can be stressful, and I very much get, like, the repeating the tapes of the day, and, like, kind of keeping you from being able to fall asleep. But right now, breathe. Your job is to rest and recuperate. I'm proud of you. Okay? Hang in there. I think you're a great person. And I would absolutely hire you. I would hire you in a heartbeat. Okay? Alright. And go ahead and just close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Just focus on your breathing. And as you focus on your breathing, think of a nice, happy place. Think of a nice, happy place. And here we'll count to 3 together. And when we get to 3, all that stress and tension you are worrying about is going to melt away, okay? 1, more relaxed. 2, deeper into relaxation. That stress is